I thought it'd be fun to make a video doing what I used to do, or still kind of do, to other people, which is break down their boxing footage on myself. Am I a good boxer? Well, I want to take a look at it, get an outside perspective on what I'm seeing versus what I think I'm doing, and see what you guys think. I'm sure the title is already out there on YouTube now, but we're going to hit it here. Can Wade Plim, aka me, myself, box?
Oh shit, I hope he's not talking about me. As some of you might know, I did post a video a few days ago with that title, Can Wade Actually Box? And he did leave a comment under that video, so I'm guessing he saw it. And I don't even know if he's gonna see this one, but just in case if he does, Wade, if you're down, I'd love to do one of them there collabs. Don't know why I decided to say that in a weird accent, but if you're down, I'd really like to have a sit down and talk a little bit before your upcoming fight. Just let me know, brother.
And I know some people are asking the question, why am I training with BJ? Well, for one, you look at all the fighters that BJ has worked with for their fights. Josh Bruckner, Tristan, obviously the big one, Jake Paul. They're all bigger guys. They're all cruiserweights to heavyweights. And that's kind of the realm I live in, right? I'm a bigger guy, and there is a difference, whether you want to believe it or not, in how you train big guys versus small guys. And obviously, you know, catering to what they do best and what I do best is what BJ's trying to do. So he was also close to California. Didn't think there'd be a better mind for someone in this scene like myself.
He definitely has a point. The bigger guys are going to be much more slower and carry a lot more power, but that comes with exerting a lot more energy, which makes you tired a lot quicker. Normally with the little guys, you see them throwing out fast combinations, a lot of volume, whereas the bigger guys, they're more so 1 to 2 punch combinations, a lot of power. They're also much heavier, so you're not going to see many heavyweights out there bouncing around on their toes, constantly moving, constantly using footwork, because as my coach always says, the first thing that will always go in a fight is your legs. So those bigger guys just need to conserve that energy carrying around that much more weight.
But here was our literal first mitt session, myself and BJ, and let's see what we have. First off, the quads are popping.
Damn.
I'm talking 1, 2, 3, all 4.
Damn, he ain't lying, man. The legs are booming. That is hard work and dedication right there. That takes time. That does not happen overnight. All right, let's see. Nice jab. The jab is definitely a lot better. Nice right hand. Stay low in it too. Nice. That little L step. Hold on. Hold on. This is levels. This is levels. We're unlocking levels. We're upgrading. Look at the little L step. Change that angle. Bam. Nice. And a jab off of it too. It's
so
clean.
We don't show a lot there, but let's take a look at what we do see. First off, let's take a look at my stance, right? I am in a very, at least for my height, low and loaded stance. This is something that I'm trying to work on. For whatever reason, in my head, I don't think that I am bearing so much weight in a loaded position, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to have this much bend in my knee and also just have that much pressure. Look at my quads just popping out. There's a lot I'm still working on and keeping, you know, myself relaxed, and not necessarily in the way you guys would think, but keeping my legs relaxed by being in a posture that isn't so fatiguing on my back leg or fatiguing on my legs in general. That's what I'm used to, is having that kind of low stance, and like a, you know, in any other sport I've played, being active and low.
So what I will say is, and what my coach tells me in the gym too, is he has me practice also getting really low and training in a much lower stance. It's just going to work out your legs much more. It's going to get your legs much more conditioned. At the beginning stages of his career, it's only going to help. It's not going to hurt. Yeah, later on when your legs are in shape and are in condition, you kind of want to get in the flow of what you're comfortable with. Before right now, being very low and sitting in your stance is actually going to be really, really beneficial for your legs.
From what I see in this first little bit here, you know, decent enough jab.
That is a nice jab.
Obviously, we don't return it back to the place of origin, which is something I definitely have to work on.
I mean, that is true. When you do shoot out your jab, you do kind of want to bring it back to your face, especially if you're a beginner. But normally, if you're an experienced guy, your jab is your longest, rangiest punch. If you catch someone on the end of your jab, especially if you're tall and lanky like Wade, there's a chance that they can't even reach you. So yeah, practicing bringing it back to your face is a good idea, just because you're going to come in contact with people who do have the size, the reach that you have. But when he's fighting these shorter, stockier type guys, he doesn't necessarily have to, because when he's popping with that jab, first of all, this is a lot closer than if he were to bring it here. If he would bring it up here, it would be a lot longer and take much more time they can react. But him right here, and it's a little lower, it's going to be hard for him to read. He could just pop, up jab, up jab, up jab all day. But of course, he's going to want to work on it, because he doesn't want to get in the habit of only bringing it down, because like I said, there are going to be guys with his reach that will counter off of that.
When I throw my right hand, when we look back here, and you guys will see kind of this progression throughout the days, it's not a bad right hand, but I'm not really looking at the right hand as much as I'm looking at the way I turn my hip over.
He does have good extension,
especially
though.
these first couple days when I'm doing it. That's actually not.
That's not bad. That's a lot better.
You know, yeah, okay, my lead hand can be a little higher so I don't get countered. Yes, we understand that. But I'm trying to throw some power here, but I'm not getting the twist, the turnover that I want necessarily out of that right hand. Like, sure, my hip goes with it, but I'm almost reaching for this right hand. And you see it more on this second shot. And it's great, right? When it sounds like that on the pads, and I saw people on Twitter being like, whoa, real snappy. And snappy's cool. Like, that's cool. Boom, boom, boom. Snappy, nice. We like that. Boom, boom. Right? But look at the way I land it. Look where everything is. And again, it's not terrible. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world that I'm up on my toe here. You know, it's turned over. I have a nice kind of straight arm line. But you can even kind of see where the knuckles are landing there. It's not as flush as I'd want it to be. You see kind of how the top of my hand lands. I'm trying to land that thing flush, and I'm trying to really rotate my feet over and also get better balance in my shots, right?
He does bring up good points, and I like how he's analyzing himself and giving himself real legitimate constructive criticism. First of all, if he wants to land more on the knuckle here, let me roll up my sleeve so I can show y'all real quick. Instead of punching like this, people think you need to punch with your arm straight. The problem is that you're punching with here. You're punching with this whole surface. That's not what you want. You want to punch with the knuckles. So what you need to do is you just need to bend your wrists a little bit. I know people think that it's supposed to be straight, hard, tight. No, you want to relax, bend your wrists, and that way when you punch, you're hitting them with your actual knuckle, and it lands a lot more flush, lands a lot more cleaner, lands a lot more solid. Plus, another thing he also talks about is him being off balance. And I could tell you a trick that I use to help keep me on balance, because I struggled with this also. And it's because you are turning the hip, you are turning nice. That's really good extension on the back and everything. What I would say is when you throw your right hand, push that toe out a little bit. Instead of just only twisting it, you're still on line, but when you throw your right hand, you're kind of throwing across your body. When you throw, you turn the hip and you take just a slight step outward, and that'll help keep you on balance. It feels a little awkward at first, and it's kind of hard to get used to and hard to train, but once you got it down, it is a big game changer.
This was day 2. And again, I start out the session with my feet a little wider, and it's great for again, stuff we're working on. And I'll just kind of show you guys the whole thing here.
That was nice. See, he's a lot more snappier. He's getting the hang of it for sure. It's a nice jab. I like where his jab is coming from too. Nice. Another thing I really like from Wade is how he's playing with that lead hand. The thing is, once you play with that lead hand, especially against these inexperienced guys, they're not going to know when you're going to strike. They're going to be anticipating, because you're constantly moving. If you're just standing still, then every little movement, they're going to react and jump backwards, and it's going to be really hard to land anything. But if you're constantly moving, they're not sure when a shot is going to be coming. And when he's swinging this arm back and forth like this, he could throw it from back here if he wants to land a much more powerful jab, or if he just wants to make it quick and get in your face and maybe make a quick snappy jab and come with a hard cross, he could throw it from all the way out here. It's quick, very short range, very short distance. He could just pop you and then boom, come down really hard with a straight right hand.
An up jab, BJ calls for, and you see me kind of bring my head to the inside and let the up jab go. Now, I know that a lot of people on Twitter, and again, probably in this YouTube comment section, are going to say, I'm stiff as a board. I'm stiffer than when your mother walks into a room and I haven't seen her in a while. I'm stiffer than my own neck after not sleeping in my own bed for weeks at a time because these hotel pillows just aren't doing the job. And honestly, I agree with you. You know, there's, again, you look at the start of this, and I've got a lot of bend in my legs, and you can see my quads are definitely feeling it. Things I need to be more relaxed with. It just comes with repetition. I'm not going to lie to you and act like I've got it all figured out yet, because I definitely don't. And, you know, being in that position is one thing, but watching it back, I'm doing something that sometimes I don't even know that I'm doing. I'm not as explosive or as fluid as I would like to be, but that's the place we're trying to get to. So you see the up jab there, and you see the jab, right hand. And what we're really working on is, again, utilizing all of the athletic traits that I have and bringing them into the fundamentals of boxing. So you see, what did I talk about in video 1 from day 1? I want to be able to turn my right hand over more. And you kind of see it here, but also you see my hip engage.
Yeah, you can see that he's reaching. Like I said, what'll fix it is if you can step in a little bit more with this foot. It is kind of far away, especially if you're stepping up with your jab, you're kind of leaving this foot back. If you step up, you could step up and out at the same time with this foot.
You see me trying to punch through that target, but you see me still not bringing that back leg with me, right? I'm still a little wide.
Like I was just
saying.
saying.
Like, that's not a bad finish, but my feet are just a little wide. So
Yeah.
we're still honing that in.
Just takes time. You'll get the
And
hang
look
of
at
it.
that. That's the finish
That's
on
a
the
nice
right hand
one.
I want. And I know that, again, some people were talking about move your head. And I sometimes wonder if you guys understand what head movement with punching is. Because
Your head
you
just
can
naturally moves out the
over-exaggerate
way.
head movement. And sure, at some point, I will get better with it. But look at the starting place of my head here. For people that wanted to see head movement, look at the starting place of where my head is here to where we finish.
Yeah.
I'm
Your
off
head just
center
naturally
line here.
moves out
Am
the
I
way.
as far off as I want to be? No. But there is natural head movement just strictly because, and I've talked about this with other fighters and people, like myself, trying to apply what I know to a real life situation, or people that are just starting. It comes also just with that rotation of the hips and the oblique muscles and the shoulders. And I don't even extend as much as I want to on the right hand here, but I see my feet getting closer. I see some twist in my hips. And I see my head off of center line in a way that is more exaggerated than it had been. Again, this is day 2 of me hitting the mitt, so it's only going to get better from there. You see me a little bit reachy with my jab. I can definitely be better with that, right? Staying with my weight backward a little more. I know you guys are going to talk about my chin being up. And yes, I can definitely tuck my chin more and roll those shoulders, but I'm definitely also not going to be standing here like this with my eyes down.
Every fighter's
There's
different.
a happy medium between what I need to be doing and where I'm at for sure. But
Every fighter is different. Like if you look at someone like a Miguel Cotto, his chin is down. The guy is literally looking at you through his fucking eyebrows. But every fighter is different. People are going to be more comfortable doing one thing and doing another. So as long as it's somewhat tucked and just not straight up out in the air, it's fine. What I'll say is, yeah, you could tuck it a little bit more, but I think your shoulder should really come up a little bit more on these shots. When you're throwing your punch, you'll have your shoulder defending. So if they come, a lot of people say you throw out the jab, they like to meet it with a hook around to try to catch you. If you have your shoulder up, that is a good defense. And then when they swing that hook, it'll catch you on the shoulder.
better
that's
jab
nice.
there. Absolutely.
See, this is where really good coaching comes into play, because I'll wait for it right here. Look, where do you think he's going? If you're his opponent, where do you think he's punching? His arm is right here. It's literally pointing at where you think he's going to punch. You think he's going to go to the body. So his opponent is automatically, once Wade goes to throw, once he goes to move, his opponent is automatically going to drop his hands, and then boom,
Better jab
pop him
there,
right in the
definitely.
nose.
Definitely a better jab there. Kept my weight back a little more.
Something I love doing in sparring.
But we're still working on that right hand. And you can see the difference when I really throw the right hand versus when I'm still, kind of guiding it in there and not letting it go and not committing to it. That's another thing that, I am working on and getting, I think, better with as the days go by, is committing to my punch. You may look at the day one right hand and be like, no, it was way more snappy. It was way more poppy. But again, you have to look at the entire package. Look at the hip twist. Look at the way the right hand turns over. And again,
Nice.
I love that. And yeah, okay, maybe a little off balance. Some things I can work on. But the finish here is something I like a little more. Sure, I can turn that thing over a little better. But I'm liking where I'm getting to is the point. And yes, again, we finish way out here and almost damn near in a split. We got to get those feet together. But the point is, what I'm doing, and there's some more footage, a little bit of, I think, day 2. I didn't see this earlier. Seeing the up jab.
It is a lot
you're
better,
seeing me
man.
return here. Definitely something I got to work on. You even hear BJ right there, stay relaxed. He can tell when I'm a little tense and I'm, trying to load up on some punches. Definitely not something I want to do. I don't want to be loaded up on any punches, nothing like that. But I do want to make sure I maintain good fundamentals and maintain, the stance, the posture. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, the 3-2 is going to be a really good weapon, especially with that long hook. People normally think like you got to be in close to throw a hook. With Wade, with that reach and that length, the lead hook will be a good thing to throw his opponent off, and then again come back with the straight right hand. He's not going to be expecting it. All right, that's all of Wade's video I'm going to show y'all. If y'all want to see the rest of it, I'll leave it linked down in the description below. But you can definitely see the improvements. Of course, he's not going to look like a world champion, a world beater. The guy's been going consistently at this for like a little over a year. And even the top pros in the entire world, watch them, they still make mistakes. There's always room for improvement. There's always room to get better. I just really like the development from what we saw before versus what we see now. If you just put the time in, you can make huge strides. And that's why I really like about the influencer boxing scene. You could really see these guys grow and get better over time. We didn't really get to see what his defense looks like or any sparring footage, which of course he's not going to want to show that because he's not going to want to give away any game plan to his opponent. But even just from that little bit of what we've seen and how much Wade has grown, I'm gonna be real with you guys, no matter who Wade is fighting, if the HS Tiki-Taki guy can't fight and they have to find another opponent for Wade, regardless, they are going to be in some trouble. But that's going to be all I got for y'all today. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, I thank you all so much for the support, and I'll catch you in the next video.